Good afternoon, everyone. My namaste, namaskar, sat sri akal, adab to all from the colder and the hotter region in this month of November. I welcome you all. It is a beautiful afternoon, and we have some very talented, informative speakers and the panelists today. I again welcome you on this webinar from Geetanjali Institute of Pharmacy in association with IQAC of Geetanjali University, Udaipur, Rajasthan, for this title Manuscript Writing for Publication in Reputed Research Journal Module 1. Yes, dear audience, it is Module 1. We will have upcoming series related or similar to this topic to give you the guidance who all are interested, to give you some guidance about it. How to write the manuscript, what are the flaws, what are the steps, and many more things. I'm speaking from Geetanjali University right now, and we have right now two panelists joining us. Before I invite them, I request my viewers, the participants, you are watching us on the Facebook and YouTube live. On YouTube, it is Geetanjali University. Please click on the bell icon and subscribe it. You'll keep getting the updates about the Geetanjali University and Geetanjali Institute of Pharmacy. And you can also share your comments on the chat box there. Also applicable to the Facebook viewers, you can keep writing your views on the comment box. Most importantly, our speaker would be taking up your questions at the end of the session. So if you have any questions popping up in your mind, please drop them in a comment box. We will be certainly taking it at the end of the webinar with the permission of the speaker. So, dear all, in this beautiful afternoon, let me invite our panelists. First of all, our principal, Dr. Mahendra Singh Rathore, sir, from Geetanjali Institute of Pharmacy, and our speaker, Dr. Rardhir Singh Daya, sir, from Haryana. So we welcome you both on this show, webinar of GIP on 4th November. Thank you, sir, for your
Thank
presence
you.
and blessing. Thank you, both of you. We
Thank you,
also,
Dr. Aditya.
sir, he might join us in some time. If he join us, we may welcome him also. Till then, let's go ahead. Uh, we have our principal, Geetanjali Institute of Pharmacy, Dr. Mahendra Singh Rathore, sir. He is a dynamic professional having more than 15 years of experience in academia and industry both. He has completed various industry and the government research projects and is graduate from University of Rajasthan and is postgraduate from the Dipsar University of Delhi. He is PhD from Rajiv Gandhi Pradyogiki Vidyalaya Bhopal and has received various funds from DST, GOI, and also has present his research works at the ARPS Workshop USA. And also, let me bring to your notice, he had one project entitled Academia Industry Interaction Project sponsored by NSTMIS DST division and has compiled his work and submitted to the government of India. So let me welcome our Dr. Rathore, the principal GIP, to please enlighten our viewers with giving a brief profile about the college and the university. Sir, over to you.
So, good afternoon to all the participants. On behalf of Geetanjali Institute of Pharmacy, Geetanjali University, Udaipur, Rajasthan, I welcome Dr. R.S. Daya, all participants of the webinar. On this webinar entitled as Scientific Manuscript Writing for Publication in the Reputed Research Journal Module 1, as the Master of Ceremony, Dr. Udichi, has informed you that we intend to go for a long way in this particular topic and this title up to the research proposal writing. So how to write the research proposal, then this is the first step, and then later on, step by manner, we will move ahead. And we are having such eminent speaker, Dr. R.S. Daya. I know him for past 10 years, and he is having very good research acumen and had published a lot many publications. And Dr. Udichi will certainly will brief you about his profile. And in this particular scenario, I would like to say that all of us know that the research is having an important aspect in the educational institutes, and it is holding an important thing from various point of view. Let us take from the university's profile point of view. Let's take it from the accreditation point of view. Let it be NAC, let it be NIRF. Every agency is giving lot of emphasis on the research publications. If I take NAC accreditation, you see that only 50 marks are there for getting this research publication profile of the university, and it would be automatically being filtered off from the portfolio, that is InflipNet. And in that, they are finding only those journals which are having this indexing in the PubMed or Web of Science, or you can say UGC listed journals, or the elsewhere. So that these are the indexing agencies. If any institute is having publication, or any researcher is having publication in these particular type of search engines, only then this would be reflected, and it is of use for the various purposes. So we thought that the idea came to our mind that many of the budding researchers, that they are having less idea, or that they are having not idea that how to do the manuscript writing and getting it published in the good research journal. So that when the idea came into my mind, the first name strike was Dr. R.S. Daya. Since I was associated with him for past 10 years, and he is always ready to do such type of activities, professional activities. So we are very thankful for him that on a very short notice he accepted our invitation and agreed for this particular thing. So again, on behalf of Geetanjali Institute of Pharmacy, I just would like to brief you about some features of the university. That university is basically having is a medical science university or a health science university, having the different courses of the medical sciences like MBBS, MD, and nursing college we are having. Then we are having physiotherapy, pharmacy, and dental college. So all these institutes are the constituent institute of the Geetanjali University, Udaipur. And we are very keen to enrich the profile of the university from the research point of view. And this is the commencement of our journey, that we have to go for the long way. And I anticipate that this is the blockbuster seminar is going to happen from Dr. Daya. As I know him, that he will just do the things marvelously. So again, on behalf of VIP, I welcome all the Dr. Daya and all the participants. And now I would like to hand over the charge to the Master of Ceremony, Dr. Udichi. Please, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for throwing the light on the university and college and the future prospects of this title today. Let me welcome now Dr. Ranveer Singh. It is a privilege for us to have him today online on this online platform. Dr. Ranveer Singh Daya is the professor in Department of Pharmacology, MM College of Pharmacy, Maulana Ambala. He has an experience of more than 15 years of teaching and research, published more than 110 review and research articles in the International Journal of Scientific Repute, and his work is cited in highly reputed journals. He is editorial board member in several journals. He has supervised more than 8 PhD scholars and 8 PG students, and still 5 more PhD scholars are working under his supervision. He has received 2 projects worth rupees 50 lakhs from DST and CCRH Department of Ayush. He has received Professor Saroj V.N. Sharma Award for the Best Paper Published in Cardiovascular Sciences in India in 2011, and Best Faculty Award from APP 2017, South Africa, and Eminent Researcher Award from DCM Editech 2018. He has authored 11 books of both national and international journals in reputed publishers. What more, such a rich experience we have, such a rich experienced speaker we have today. So let's we have that privilege to invite and ask Dr. Daya to lead the show. Sir, over to you. Thank you for your
Okay.
presence.
Thank you, Dr. Rathod and Dr. Udiji, for giving such a wonderful introduction. And good afternoon, all the audiences. And today, just because of the Dr. efforts of Dr. Rathod, we are interacting with each other at the platform of Geetanjali Institute of Pharmacy under the Geetanjali University. And when Dr. Rathod told me to have this session, that they are going to organize this type of activity into the university, so I was very much happy because this is a topic where I can formally as well as informally talk a lot. This topic is very close to my heart because nowadays, that this publication part, that has become a necessity. I'm not saying that for the sake of formality you have to go for the publication, but because we are in a profession where we're working, this is a profession which is related with the healthcare. So whatever new things, whatever new inventions, whatever new strategies, hypotheses, opinions are coming, or we are doing some research, that is in the benefit of human care or human race. So our field is very much into that area. Healthcare is a sector which affects everyone, and everyone needs this area also. So anything, any contribution into this area, whether in the form of publication, in the form of research, or you are giving some innovation, some ideas, that is very much beneficial for the whole of the population or for the world also. So that was all that why I selected this or why I'm into this topic. So formally, if we talk about these things, so I would like to share my PPT. Actually, what important thing which I want to tell everyone, that this is just a discussion panel. After the presentation, I want everyone to interact with this. You are free to raise your queries, you are free to ask your questions, and I would like to request this organizers, they can display my number, mail ID also, so that if anybody who is not able to connect this time, they can send me messages, they can send me mails, so that we can have interaction also. So I would like to start with this one, my presentation with this thing. So this is the topic of the presentation. This is scientific manuscript writing for the publication in reputed research journal. And as Dr. Rathod also told that this is just a module one, means that they are having some further plans where the much more things will be elaborated, just like research, how to write the research proposal and everything like this. So better, this is the first step of this activity, scientific manuscript writing. Now, as you know that, as Dr. Rathod also told that now this is the
दैया
requirement.
सर,
Yes.
सॉरी सर, आपकी स्क्रीन जो है वो भी शेयर नहीं हो रही है सर. यू हैव शेयर्ड द स्क्रीन?
Yeah, I have shared the screen. Just a minute.
Yes sir, please, actually it's not visible.
एक minute. I have shared my.
No, no problem. Please take your time comfortably.
Just a minute. Mhm. I said.
सर जस्ट नीचे आपके एक शेयर स्क्रीन का एक
Yeah,
वो
वो
आएंगे.
share screen किया है.
Yeah, no problem. Sir, you just our organizer will contact with you, And in the meanwhile, I would also like to take this opportunity, since this is the problem, so that I would like to brief more about this institute. By the time you get the screen shared, I would request Dr. Udishi to please contact Dr. Daya to help him out to share the screen. So this particular topic, this research manuscript writing, this research manuscript writing
डॉक्टर
topic
उदित
is
ने
a
मैंने किया तो
very fantastic one. And in that case, you see that in the reputed journals, this various accreditation agencies, like I was discussing about NAC and NIRF, and in that case, that you can say about things, every university or every institute must be having the profile, the good research profile. So I would say about that that Geetanjali University is very much keen, and it is very highly encourages to is encouraging the faculty members to the persons who are having interest in the research, or everybody should be publishing publication in good research journals, then filing the research proposals. And this university is having a 1400 bed hospital, and there is a lot of research can be done here at this hospital. This hospital is having super specialty also. We also do conduct here the various the surgical procedures like CABG, PTCA, and many more. So that at some other occasion, I would like to brief about you all these things. So in that case, this universities, the researchers are encouraged, along with that, all the participants who are there, that they should be going for the good, that finding the good research journal is itself is a task, what I believe. Because whenever we have conducted the research work at our laboratory or at a hospital or anywhere, but now the question comes now how to take up this thing to the various important platforms. And these platforms would be the reputed journals, because if doing the good research work, and this research work would be not being showing to the public, then it is of no use. So it is very much this is the need of the hour, that the research publication or research work that we have done, it should be in the reputed journals. And this finding the reputed journal itself is a task, and we have to search out and getting the things done. And now UGC also has mentioned the new publication policy. The various issues are there, like plagiarism, like finding the good journals. Then these are the things. Then we have to see. So predatory journals are also there. So how to get rid of all these things and getting the problem solved? This particular topic is of the interest of everyone, that we believe. So this is a particular thing that I would like to share with you, and I hope that this problem has been resolved. So Dr. Udichi, can we move ahead with Dr. Daya's presentation? Mr. Naman, Dr. Udichi. Hello. There's no problem. There must be some technical problem. Dr. Daya, you have shared the screen? Okay, now fine. It's fine. Now you can continue, sir. Dr. Daya, please.
So this is the topic which we are going to discuss, means the scientific. Am I audible? Am I clear? Scientific manuscript writing for the publication in reputed research journal. So first thing means that why we need publication, as Dr. Rathod also told that this is the requirement as per the UGC also. Moreover, for your academic upgradation, or you can say that if you just to increase your professional position, you also need publication. But these publications are generally based upon one thing, which is called as a research. Now, what is a research? What is your opinion of a research, or what we understand by the research? Research is generally defined as the creation of new knowledge. That is one thing. Or the use of existing knowledge in a new and creative way, so as to generate new ideas, new concepts, new methodology, and then new understanding. Now, from this definition, we can have two opinions. The first one is on the basis of which what we decide is your research article, which are also called as the research publication. Another thing is that the presentation of a existing knowledge into a different way, so that you can generate some ideas, new concept, new methodology. So our research covers all these factors, whether you are doing some innovation or the new work, or you are presenting your existing knowledge into some different way or in a new way which can provide some new opinion. So that is how we define the research. Now, as the topic of the title or the seminar is that writing a good publication. So what is the definition of a good publication article? Means, if we say the definition of a good publication article is that it should have an abstract or summary paragraph. Means there are some sections into the publication or into this article, there should be these sections. Another thing is that it should have original research, experimentation, as well as in-depth studies in the field, and the data or the results or the component of this publication, they should be expressed as tables, graph, diagrams. This is a normal expression of a good article. And one more important thing, it should be have a very specific area or a narrow area. Means that whatever you want to talk about into a good article, it should be reflected, or your idea or your knowledge should be reflected into that publication. So these are the areas, and it should be written for a population. For example, that you are writing a scientific paper, writing a good paper, but it should have some jargon of the discipline. Means whatever area you want to talk about, it should be related to that thing. Means that you are writing a paper for the scientific community, and yeah, you are using just layman word, it will not serve the purpose. And these are the characteristics of a good publication. Whenever you say a good publication from any reputed journal or any reputed authors, you will not find this type of irregularities or flaws into a good paper. Now move to the next one, please. Now, these are the qualities of a good paper. Now, what are the qualities of a author to have a good paper? As you know that this publication has become, I will say, mandatory. It has become mandatory to publish the paper, no matter this is the need from the department, or that is a need for your professional growth. Still, you need papers or the publication into that thing. So we know that what are the characteristics of a good paper, but what are the characteristics of an author to have a good scientific publication? The first and utmost important thing is genuine interest to publish an article. If you have a genuine interest to publish or to write a paper, only you should write or you can write. If there is any pressure, for the sake to get rid of this pressure, you are writing a paper, you cannot write a good paper. So that is not possible. Another thing is that positive attitude. Means whenever we start a paper, we start some writing work, or we have finished our thesis, what do we think? Can we write a paper? Is it possible? Am I that much mature enough? Or मैं इतना कुछ कर सकता हूँ? So if you have a positive attitude, then you can go ahead with the process. This is not a process which is impossible. So many papers, how many persons have written their papers, and many are writing the papers. It's always a first time. But for more important thing is that you should have a positive attitude. And another factor is sufficient time management. And this is also one of the important factor. What is the meaning of this sufficient time management? Means whenever you are writing a paper, After submission, you will get revision. After the revision, you are submitting again, you will get proofreading. So the person who is writing a paper, the person should have sufficient time for writing the paper, for analyzing the paper, as well as to evaluating the content, proofreading the paper, so that when your paper is finally coming out for the publication, it should not have any flaws into that. Next factor is good and peaceful mindset. Now, that as everyone is saying that you have to write a paper, means in that case, that is an advice also, and that is a pressure also. Means if you are working under pressure to write a paper, it will be difficult for you. But if you are having good and peaceful mindset, only you can generate some ideas. You can peacefully present your data, you can express your views, you can write your opinion in the form of a paper. So good and peaceful mindset where you can generate ideas is very much important. Now this stress less working hours, and I know that everybody who is working into the private institution or the government institution, this factor is very much lacking, stress less working area. But to excel the process, you should have sufficient time. And this is also an advice for the persons who are on the authority position, that we should also provide some time for the research, and we should also provide some stressless working area, so that we can have a good manuscript or the good scientific publication. Next one is your patience. This is one of the important factor. A reason behind is that when you have finished your work, you have written your thesis, again you are writing the publication, you are sending to the journal. And one thing is that when you go with the journal side, you find that journal are taking 4 months, 6 months, sometimes some of the journal which are of very good quality, they can take up to a year also. So patience, having patience is the key factor. Means you should not have that you have submitted the paper and you are accept the journal is very much ready to accept this paper. So that is really a very, you can say, time bound process, and you should have the patience for that. And again, I'm coming to this point, is the confidence. Means that if you can go through this, you can write your thesis, you have done your thesis part, so then you have all the confidence to write a paper. Now this is about how to have the characteristics. Now that we have different type of publication. We say that there is a research article, we say there is a review article. But if we consider this research article, these are of further different categories. जिसे हम बोल सकते हैं कि that some papers are called as the analytical research paper, experimental research paper, survey research paper, as well as interpretive papers. Means basically what we are dealing, suppose that anybody is doing some research, so we are dealing with experimental research papers. Means this is very much common in our field also, in the field of pharmacy also. Means that in this case you are doing some experiments and you are presenting your experiment, you are interpreting your results, you are making your conclusion, you are presenting all over data. So these are called as the experimental research paper. Whereas in case of analytical research paper, means in that case you are raising a concern into the already existing information, you are analyzing that information and you are presenting your own opinion about that. This is also the very important paper type of paper. And these type of analytical research papers, they are of very much importance, because in this case you can put some new hypothesis, new opinion or new leads from that. सर्वे रिसर्च पेपर जिसे हम बोल सकते हो, generally that in case you are doing some survey, you can say in the form of some questionnaires that has been distributed, the conductor of the survey, that person collect all the answers or the questionnaires and on the basis of those questionnaires some interpretation is done, and that is presented in the form of a paper. So these are the different type of publications we can have if we consider under the research publication. Next one is, next slide please. And this is a review publication. Just as I told you that we classify into the research publication as well as into the review publication. So in this review publications we have different types. For example, this critical reviews, meta analysis, overviews, rapid reviews, scoping review, state of the art review, systematic review, and the umbrella review. And generally, for example, in case of for example you have this healthcare field, farm d, or other, just in other cases also, this is one of the important area where you can go with the publication of the article. For example, this systematic reviews, these are means ki that these are based upon a systematic search, means ki that whatever are the research is done, that is presented into a systematic way. It means ki that you are adhering to the guidelines, and you are producing different evidence, you are analyzing the data, you are presenting the data. Whereas in case of scoping review, means this is also the same type, but difference in case of scoping review is that you just try to find the gap into the research, means whatever is the existing knowledge present, but is there any scope or is there any gap? Just to fill the gap, you are doing this type of scoping review. Generally pharmd people, or you can say nursing people, or you can say some people who are doing some pg and all, जहाँ पे डेटा बेस्ड स्टडी रहती है या ऑब्जर्वेशनल टाइप ऑफ स्टडी रहती है, this type of reviews has been done, just systematic review, as well as meta analysis. Meta analysis in case of healthcare, this is of prime importance. Meta analysis is done in case of already existing data, whatever is available, means ki that you are analyzing whatever is present into the system. On the basis of that analysis, you are making your own conclusion. So means ki simply कि आपने सारा का सारा जो information है उसको analyze किया, उस on the basis of that analysis you are presenting some new opinion, some new conclusion, which is of very much importance. So that was just like research and reviews. Now when we publish any article, we know ki whatever we have done, means whether that is your systematic experimental work or anything else, you know the extent of your work, you know your contents very well, ki what you have done, what was your studies, and what were the good points of a study, how much is the data available into your studies, and how it should be presented. So generally what we say ki that only two type, that is a general opinion I'm saying, ki that research article and review article. But except that, suppose ki that this is for, you can say, especially for the PhD students, ki that in case of PhD many objectives are there, and your study is also divided into different phases. For example, whenever any study is planned, in that case you have, this is the work which should be done into the first year, this is the work which you conclude into the second year, third year, or the later on. So basis on that, one thing is that we simply wait for, you can say, after the completion of my work, total work, I will start publishing my data, or I will start publishing my result. But what happened in that case? In that case we go with a complete paper. But suppose that you have done a little part of your work and you want to publish that work, so there are options available into that. For example, there are different type of communication, or the different type of articles which we can publish our data. For example, these are the research article, generally up to 5000 word. ये हम commonly है जो हम सब journals में भेजते हैं कि that up to 5,000 word you can send your data as a research article, or these are also called as a full research articles, and means that basic experimental work is presented in the form of table, graphs, or as well as figures. And another thing is your observation are, these are the small descriptions up to 1200 words. And this is especially, this can be used especially in case of medical sciences. Observation or the case studies or the case reports that can be sent, in that only just two figures are required, up to 25 references are required, and 1200 words. So no matter whatever publication you are sending, it will be considered as a publications. Means it is nothing like that ki full article is having more impact as compared to the letter to editor. Every contribution or every publication is having equal importance if it is published in any journal. Similarly, commentaries are also there, perspectives are also there, editorial, resource reports. These are the type of publications which we can simply use. That depends upon the what is the type of your work, how much is the content of your work, and you want to publish that data into a one go, or you want to divide the data into the different sections. Based upon this type, you can have different type of publications. Next slide, please. So we come to one important point, that is architecture of a research paper. So what are the components, or what is the composition of a research article? So research article is basically having three components, or you can say important component. First one is your introduction, second one is your body, third one is your conclusion. And in this body we have four components: literature review, methodology, results, and discussion. Other components which are important into the publication is your abstract, references, and appendix. So whenever you are planning or whenever you are writing any article, so emphasis should be given on each and every component of the article. Now next slide, please. So this is the area what we can talk about. This abstract means whoever is writing a publication, so means what is happening in that case. Whenever you are writing a publication, in your publication nothing is unimportant. Each and every section is having its own importance, whether that is a abstract, introduction, literature, methodology, and results. Every section reflects your quality of work. For example, that if you are saying that abstract is the first part, whenever your publication is submitted to any journal, this is the part which is dealt by the editor or the editor in chief or the reviewer. From the abstracts, the reflection of your work can be done. What is the quality of your abstract? It reflects the quality of your work. And what we do in case of abstracts, there is a brief introduction, aim of the study, methodology, result, and conclusion. Now when we are writing an abstract, there should be a clear picture of this thing, that what is the aim of the study, means why we are doing this study, or why, how to do it, why to do it, and how to do it. Means this is about your rational, this is your methodology, and what you found, means what are your results, and what are the outcomes of that, your conclusion of that. Just into the previous slide, please. Means that, yeah, next one. Yeah, stay at this slide. So means that Your abstract forms the basis of your publication. There are many chances that on the basis of your abstract, your publication or your manuscript will go to the reviewer or not. If you have written your abstract, please just keep on the previous one. I want to describe each and every factor of this one. Means that if you have written your abstract very well, then there are chances that it will go to for the further reviews. Otherwise, on the basis of your abstract, your manuscript will be rejected. Generally, what is happening, the people will start writing abstract after the at very starting point, but abstract should be written after the completion of the paper, and main highlights of your research work should be reflected into the abstract. Next point is what we are dealing is your introduction. Introduction is what is the purpose of the study, or what is the background of the study, or what you want to say about your study, what is happening. Generally, introduction is considered as a vague topic. Suppose that you want to describe about any hepatoprotective drug, or you want to say that you have evaluated any compound for the hepatoprotective activity, but in the introduction you are simply going a lot about the physiology of the liver, or the functions of the liver, or the structure of the liver. It will not serve any purpose. Before publishing any article, you should keep in your mind for whom you are writing the paper. Means the person who will read your paper, they will be from the scientific community. There is a level into that scientific community, means they already have the that background of the study, means they are much aware about the structure of the liver, where the liver is located, what is the size of the liver, what are the functions of the liver. Means that nobody is interested into that much details. Only thing is that why in introduction, why you have planned these studies, what are your basis of the studies, and what are the rationale of the studies. This should be included into the introduction part. Next part is literature review. Means in case of literature review, we simply sum up what has been done, what is the present status of the information or the knowledge about this topic. Means how many studies have been proposed or have been conducted, have been done, or what is the quality of your review of literature. For example, you want to describe any new compound, you are saying that your compound is having some anti cancer activity, but you are not using any recent literature in which this type of chemical entity or this type of plant has already been evaluated for activity. So your literature will be of no use. Whatever literature you are presenting, it should make a concrete statement about the previous work, statement of you can say about the previous studies, and what are the main issues and controversies about this topic which you are including into the manuscript. Next one is methodology. What methodology means that whatever work you have planned, which materials and methods you have used to incorporate this. So material and method is very much important, because in that case you have to explain the procedure. Suppose that you are saying something else, but your material and method is saying some different statements. You are saying you have used mice, but you have mentioned that result of rats or the weight of rats, so that will make some controversial statement. Material method section is very much important. Next section is your result, presentation of outcome of research. You have done everything meticulously, but how the results are presented. Sometimes what is happening is that you are presenting the data in the form of a graph. Journals are also having some requirements. Sometimes they are saying that we will not accept more than 8 graphs or 8 figures, but you are making, you can say, 10 or 15 graphs, 5 to 6 tables, means कि that the presentation of the results is also a very important factors. जो आपने काम किया है उसको आप किस तरह से प्रेजेंट कर रहे हो, that is a very important part. Next one is your discussions. Means discussion is what? Discussion and introductions. You can have some relationship, or there is an association between the discussion and the associations. In case of introduction, you are providing the rationale, and whereas in case of discussion, you are saying relevance or relationship of recent finding or the recent work with your work. Means that you should provide a decent discussions. It should not be like that. Just to prove your point, you are taking a number of lines, you are writing 6 7 8 pages of discussion just to prove your point. You start from the A, you come to the Z. It should not be like that. Whatever are the highlights of that point, it should be mentioned into your discussion, and it should be very much rational, or it should be close to your topic, whatever is the topic of your manuscript. Now, next part, sum up of your finding and highlights. Whatever you have done, it should be concluded in a very decent way, because already you have explained everything into the methodology, into the discussion also. So conclusion should be very much precise, and it should be able to make a definite statement. Means ki whatever you want to say or what are the outcome of your results, it should be reflected into the conclusion. Now we come to one point, references. Generally, when you are doing everything very nicely, but when you come to the reference point, we become little bit casual. But you know that different journals are having different type of you can say pattern of references. So this is of utmost important ki whatever pattern or whatever journal you are following, the pattern of the references should be as per the requirement of journal. If there is any difference, so it reflects your casual attitudes. Next part, some of the journals nowadays they are asking for the appendix. Means ki that if there is any background work which has been done, it should also be reflected into the appendix, and you have to submit the data of the appendix also. Now please go on the next slide. Now now this point has become a very important issue. We know that what is a good article, how to write a good article, but what is happening nowadays, this is one of a very significant factor which affects the quality of publication. Means plagiarism is simply cut and paste. Means you are presenting, or you are taking, I will say you are stealing the work of others, and you are presenting that works as a yours. So means plagiarism should be avoided anyhow. आपको plagiarism करना ही नहीं है. Whenever there is a plagiarism into any paper, the editor will reject it immediately. Whenever you are submitting any article to the journal, the report is generated. This is called as a similarity report or the similarity index. Means that how much is the similarity of your work with the previous work, whether this is your idea or you have copied idea from any other, so it will be considered as a plagiarism. So just to avoid the plagiarism, if it is not possible, then you can go with the paraphrasing. For example, now you can say that this is a statement: Japan's beautiful Mount Fuji last erupted in 1707 and now classified as dormant. Dormant volcano shows no signs of activity, but they may erupt in the future. Now, this is a statement. If you are taking this statement as such, that will be copied. But if you are paraphrasing this one, now you can see that Mount Fuji, the highest mountain in Japan, is actually a dormant volcano. Dormant means that is not active. The last time Mount Fuji erupted was in 1707, and there is always a possibility of future eruptions. Now, both these statements are making the same meaning, they are reflecting the same meaning. But if you are taking this statement, direct quote from the research, then it will be considered as plagiarism. But if you are paraphrasing this statement, then it will not be considered as a plagiarism. So, anyhow, there should not be any plagiarism. Means if you really want some quality paper, some quality work, so there is no scope for plagiarism. Cut and paste. These are two words which should be avoided anyhow into any publications. Now you have prepared your journal, your manuscript. Now how to select the right journal? What are the factors which should be considered for selecting a journal? First thing is that aims and scope. Now whenever we search any article or any journal, this is the first thing which is mentioned at the you can say the starting of the journal, on the front page of the journal: aims and scope. Suppose you are doing any experimental work which is related to the pharmacy, but you are searching any journal in which your pharmacy field is not into the aims and scope of the journal. So you should not go that type of journal. Means ki that aims and scope, these are the two factors which should be carefully selected and carefully analyzed before selecting any journals. Next thing is author's guidelines. What are the guidelines of this journal for submission of the papers? That data should be presented in which form, how much is the word limit, how much is the number of graphs, how much is the number of tables which should be incorporated into the manuscript, that should also be considered. Next point which is important is time to publish. अब जब मैं पहले आपको कह रहा था व्हाट आर द क्वालिटीज ऑफ ऑथर्स टू पब्लिश ए पेपर, this is related to this time to publish. Generally we simply lose patience that I have submitted a paper and it's been more than 3 months, and the journal, I am not getting any reply or the feedback from the journal about the status of my paper. So what we say is that okay, I will withdraw my paper or I will not submit my paper, although the journal may be good. But if we see the process of publication or the process what these author or sorry reviewers or editors are following, that is time specific. Moreover, always consider this factor that you are not the only one who is doing research or who is publishing papers. Population is there, lot of peoples are there, they are also submitting articles, and the job of the editor is a little bit difficult, also hard working also. So time of publication should be considered. Whenever you are checking the table of content of any journal, it is mentioned that this article was published submitted on that day, this is the process of revision, and this is the time of acceptance. So whenever you're finding this table of content, you can easily make an idea that this journal is taking 4 months or taking 6 months or 1 year. So based upon that, you can also decide your own factor that what is my time frame to publish an article. Second one is journal impact factor. This impact factor is the quality of the paper. Suppose that if we talk about the impact factor, lowest impact factor is 0.0 and highest impact factor is 188.07. That is for the cancer research for the clinicians. 188 the highest one, and 0.0 is also an impact factor. So you know what is the quality of your research. So based upon that, you can decide the journal also, and when you are deciding the journal also, it should also be considered ki what is the impact factor of a journal, because quality papers are accepted into good journals which are having good impact factor. This peer review process means ki that peer review is that you are submitting your article, it is going to the editor, editor is for further going for the review. So peer review journals or the peer review process is very much important. Next process which we call is the well indexed. Indexing has become a very important factor. Means ki that, as Dr. Rathod also said, कि that journal should be indexed into this database. For example, PubMed, Scopus, Medline, Web of Science, or Google Scholars. Nowadays, you know that UGC has made a list of journal, group 1 journal, group 2 journals. Earlier, there was more than, you can say, 50,000 journals, but they have been shortlisted. I will not say shortlisted, they have been deleted from the list. Reason behind is that they were simply predatory journal. They were not indexed in any database. This you can say good database. So they whenever you are publishing any paper, so you should also consider whether the journal is indexed into this scientific basis. Acceptance rate, generally 95% or 90% is the rejection rate of high reputed journal, but 50% rejection rate is also into good journals. I'm not saying high journal, but 50% rejection rate means 50% acceptance rate is also there. So be positive that it is not 50% rejection, it is 50% acceptance, and you should have confidence, you should have positivity. Okay, 50% they are accepting, so I have 50% chances. So better select the paper that don't go with any journal, because you know the quality of your work very well. So if you are saying that I will select any journal which is having 90% rejection rate, so there are different conditions for that. So better to select on the basis of this journal. And this is a special function which I mentioned, poor online process. Means poor online process or presence. There are so many journals. You will be getting mails that publish paper into this journal, but whenever you search any database, you will not find this type of journal anywhere. They will mention that for this journal we are having this much impact factor and like this. So means that if they are not present into any database, better not to select this type of journal. Again, which I told that scope of the journal is too wide. This is related with this factor, aims and scope. Whenever you can say that when you are studying this aims and scope, you find that journal accepts publication or manuscript in the field of agriculture, management, mathematics, physics. Means the scope is too wide. Better to select a journal where there is a focus onto the scope or a limited scope. So this type of journals means these are considered as a good journal because they are specifically targeting one type of publication. For example, there are so many journals which are dealing with the food and food component, food chemistry, food toxicology, journal of functional food, like this way. So better if you are having this type of work, so your journal should be selected on the basis of your scope or the your work. Next is no transparency about the processing charges or the APC. Generally, if we talk about the predatory journal, they will be charging 1500. Within 2 days or 3 days, your article will be accepted, or you can say 3000 to the 5000. But they have not mentioned that when you are submitting any article. Similarly, I'm not saying about the Indian journals only. So many international journals are there that they will not mention that they are having some article processing charges. They will process your journal, but whenever there is revision or there is any acceptance, they will ask for the money. So when you have a clear idea ki whether they are charging money or they are charging APC or not, then only you should confirm it. If it is APC is there, because in case of Indian journal we can go with 5-7,000, but if we go with APC of international journal, for example this Hindawi and all, they are charging $1,500. So $1,500 is really a very big term in terms of our Indian population. So select journal very carefully. Now, this is tools to find the right journal. These are some of the databases on the basis of which you can easily find out that how to select a journal. For example, this SJR rank, जिसे हम शिमागो जनरल रैंक बोलते हैं, means कि that in that case the quality of a journal is mentioned, means कि that इसके अंदर कितनी citation होती है, which type of papers are there, what is the H index of the journal, what is the citation of the journal, what are the requirement of the journal, everything is mentioned. Suppose you go with this Shimago journal, you can find all the details about the journal. And similarly for the CABA's directory of publishing opportunities, means that in that case you can find the style of your manuscript, or whatever manuscript you are saying, you simply put an abstract, you will get an idea that which type of journal is more suitable for me to publish an article. This is elsewhere journal finder. In this case, आप भी abstract add करके you can easily find out that okay, this is the most suitable journal for me. Moreover, that in case of journal you can also find out acceptance rate, impact factor, as well as time, H index, citation, everything can be find out from this one. But in case of elsewhere journal finding, one limitation is that it will suggest you the journals which are associated with the elsewhere. Means that Bentham, Wiley or Lippincott, this type of journals will not be suggested. They will suggest us elsewhere journal finder. And this is an important one. Orlick's Web Global Series Directory, means there are more than 3 lakh journals listed over here, and these journals are listed on the basis of their reviews, their qualities. Every description is there, means कि उसका indexing कितना है, उसका acceptance कितना है, whatever you need to know about the journal, it is mentioned over there in case of Orlick's Web Global Series Directory. Similarly, this journal citation directory as well as Google Scholar Metrics, means these are just the tools which can be used. आप इन tools को use करो, आपको पता चल जाएगा कि which journal is more suitable for your manuscript. Please move to the next slide. Now, as I told you that there is a different list by the UGC CARE. There are 2 type of journals. UGC CARE 1 journal, in that case we have different sections: sciences, social sciences, arts, humanities, multidisciplinary and Indian language. We have this journal 1141 journals which has been included into the UGC CARE Group 1 journal. And CARE, what is the full form of this CARE, is the Consortium for Academic and Research Ethics. Means earlier जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, there was a lot of journals, and now these journals which are called as the predatory journals, means that they were simply accepting the manuscript on the basis of they were charging some fees. One day you are submitting your article, next day you will get the acceptance of the article, but these journals, they were not included into any scientific database, so these has been excluded from that list. Next one please. And this is group 2 journals UGC CARE. In that case we have this number of journals, and these are the journals, means that 41317, these are the Scopus source list journals. इतने journals available हैं. तो जब आपके पास UGC CARE में 1141 and in this one 41317, these good number of good journals are there. So better to select a good journal to publish your hard work, because research आप करते हैं तो it is not any, you can say, child's play कि that one day you have done some work. That really needs some hard work, some time, and better to select a good journals to publish your work and your ideas, your opinion. So I would like to conclude here that because your research is your hard work, and your hard work should be placed into good hands. Good hands means good journals only, because nowadays what is happening, the output or your publication which is published into good journals is considered. Any work which is published in this type of predatory journals, or the journals which are not included into any good database, they will not be considered for your professional growth. So better to select a good journal, do a good work, select your topic carefully. Just merely just that you are supposed to do any work or any research, don't go with that. Work with heart, plan with your heart, and really work hard so that you will get a good output of that. And I will conclude the session. If there is any queries, I will be more than happy to answer any queries from you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. What a session it was. What a session with this applaudable remark. Allow me to appreciate the efforts of Dr. Dhaya. So it was really informative, it was enlightening, it was illuminating, descriptive, and also a very explanatory one. I'm sure we are getting huge number of comments saying that it was informative, it was helpful. So, sir, I'm very sure the participants who attended this would take it long way and would attend our next session, module 2 also. The comments were displayed now and then on our screen. I would request our viewers, you will be provided the e-certificate based on the feedback form we received from you. Please fill the feedback form and with the correct name and the email ID, because on the email ID you'll be getting a e-certificate. Before moving on to the queries, we have received, sir, on our registration form many of the queries. If you have any queries right now also, I would request the viewers to please post it on the comment section so that sir can take up for you. Also, click on our bell icon on the YouTube channel, that is Geetanjali University, please, to have the updates about the Geetanjali University. And also, you can put a like button on our Facebook page of Geetanjali University. Moving ahead, sir, with your permission, can we go ahead with the questions?
Yeah,
We
please,
received.
Uh,
please. Okay.
So we have this. What means of H index in a journal, sir?
H index is the general means ki how many time any, you can say, it has been cited into the journal. For example, if we are saying ki that H index is 5, it means that work has been cited 5 times. And this is nowadays, this H index is a quality of your work. For example, earlier this impact factor was considered, but this country neither land has make, you can say, one law in which impact factor is not considered. Your H index is considered more important because you have published an article into a high impact factor journal, but how much time it is cited, this is the quality of your work. So H index reflects the quality of the journal.
So, Dr. Daya, with your permission, can I add? This is a very relevant question that everybody is seeing that the H index is this, H index is this. So you have very correctly said, sir, that it is having the impact. I would like to add some more thing in that with your
Yeah, please
consent.
carry on.
So this basically, audience, that this is a very relevant question is being asked, and in that basically H index is proposed by Mr. J.E. Hirsch in 2005, and it is the quantitative metrics that is reflecting the scholars citation or scholars potential. So how to calculate this H index? I would say, suppose a person is having 10 publication, and these 10 publications are cited at least 10 times. It may be possible that one publication have cited for 50 times or 100 times, but 10 publications are cited at least 10 times. That's mean this H index would be 10. Similarly, if suppose a person is, this is a drawback actually, and this question was asked in some conference there when I was attending NIRF conference there at Hyderabad, and this was asked, sir, suppose one publication is fantastically written and it is published in Nature and having 1,000 citation, and suppose or 2,000 citation, but the H index would be counted only one. While on the other hand, 50 publications are there, and every publication is having at least 50 citations, H index would be 50. But might be possible those 50 publications would not be having that much of research significant or breakthrough research. It might be possible, as this Nature journal is there. So sometimes it is being very much conflicting. So this is the thing that we have to take care of. So ultimately, otherwise also that we must be have some index to categorize or the impact of the journal. So this is the thing that I like to share with the people or the researchers. So this is the thing that madam, we can proceed with the further question. Next question.
What if the journal is not found on SJR? Should we consider it the valid journal?
But in that case, you have to find out what are the aims and scope of the journal, what are the guidelines into the journal. If it is not into the SGR, means that actually H index is also related with the journal also. What is the H index of the journal? From that you can easily find out the quality of the journals. मीन्स कि दैट एसडीआर लिस्ट में नहीं है तो उसके अलावा और भी बहुत सी लिस्ट है. You can find out the journal over there.
Okay, sir. Thank you. We have next question from where we can take help for selection of topic for research.
This is the job of your supervisor with whom you are working. So better to discuss it with the supervisor. And I would like to add one more thing in case of research, that research should be open. Don't feel secretive that you will not share your idea with anyone, because what I feel that this is a practice everywhere that people are saying don't discuss with anyone. But what I am saying, if you are discuss your research with anyone or with everyone, means multiple opinion, multiple views will be there, more discussion will be there, and you will get a much more clear picture of the research. So discuss it with the scientific community, discuss it with your colleagues, and take the opinion of your supervisor also.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So next question, it's flooding with the questions. If you don't, whenever you feel, sir, you can stop us. In
no
the next question. Yeah.
That
So
was
what is the
very
meaning of impact factor? How can we improve the impact factor?
How can we improve the actually impact factor is related with the journal, means any paper which has been cited into the journal, how many time it has been averagely cited into that year, from where the impact factor is generated. These impact factors are changing every year for the journals. If there are more citation from any journal in the next year, the impact factor of that journal will increase. So how we can increase the impact factor is that better to select a good journal with a good impact factor.
Okay. So our next question is from a B Farm student. He's asking, can I publish my B Farm project? And if extensively written, can I publish it also?
Definitely you can publish. No issue in that.
And so next question is importance of scientific English language in writing and getting it published.
Yeah, that is very much important, and we Indians are facing that one also. Most of the journal they are saying that the one of the authors should be from the native English country, or your language should be you can say checked by the native English country, because that is not the case. You can write a very good English. That's what I'm saying, that your skill should be there. Because whatever experiments we are doing, we know what we have done, and how we are concluding that once, how our results are reflected, it should be in a good word. Means ki good English, agar if you are not getting good words, you can go with the synonyms also, and online software are also there. These online software can provide you some good words, or just to improve the good English, one fundamental, you can say, you can use better to read good English. If you read good papers, good English, so definitely you would have a very sound vocabulary of scientific words. Then you can use those scientific words. आपका vocabulary strong है तो आपके पास सब कुछ है. And one more thing is that we Indians should feel proud of that. Ki our English is much better than this US and UK.
Yes.
At least we are following the principles of English. They are not. They are just using slangs and all.
Yes. Sir, our almost the last question. What are the most commonest errors we do while starting writing a publication?
Yes. The first thing is that introduction. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि they are components of the journal. Introduction should be very much precise. मैंने example भी दिया था कि suppose कि that you are talking, you want to talk about this एंटी हाइपरटेंसिव, जैसे मैं हेपेटोप्रेटिक क्यों ही बताता हूँ कि that you have done any work on the hepatoprotective drugs. You are saying that any new compound is hepatoprotective in nature, but in the introduction you are not talking about that new, what is the status of the research into hepatoprotective drug. Rather, you are discussing about what is liver, where it is located, what are the functions of the liver, these are the enzymes in the, and as a result of which you are making 2-3 pages of that irrational words which is not required by the scientific community. So means that whatever you are writing, it should be precise and it should be rational over there. You start working with all these things, and better to write the abstract after the completion of your work, when you know that these are the highlights of your work. So it should be reflected into abstract. It should not be like that कि पहले मैंने abstract लिख लिया और उसके बाद मैं पेपर लिखना शुरू करूंगा. So start with your introduction and other sections of the work.
Thank you, sir. With this excellent session, we come to
Thank
an
you, Dr.
end.
Vichi.
We received so many questions. Let me bring to everyone notice that we started with only few numbers. The idea was to webcast this thing only for 100 of people on this Zoom, but due to over flooding response, other than from our university, which we have around 300 academicians here from various fields of pharmacy, physiotherapy, dental, nursing, medical, everything. Other than that, we have 204 registrations. So we moved on to the StreamYard so it can be beneficial to everyone. And it is live right now. After that, it will be uploaded on our site. Who all have missed some part of the session or want to revise the session, it is always available to you. You just need to subscribe the channel. And we have got over 350 reviews. From now, and it is the first day of our channel. We are glad that it has been inaugurated by Dr. R.S. Daya sir and Dr. Amis
Thank you.
Rathod sir. And thank you so much. I appreciate the idea, the vision, and the permission of all of us from Geetanjali Institute of Pharmacy. It was just the idea of one or two which took a shape, and I sincerely appreciate and thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Registrar Sir, and various departments of Geetanjali University and Hospital to provide us the platform to bring that vision into the reality. Thank you so much, sir. And thank you. I
Thank you,
thank
Dr. Odishi, for giving me the platform to interact with these budding researchers. And I would like to thank everyone, Dr. Rathod also, and your university, to give a platform to interact with the students. And you can float my mail ID and phone number also in case if anybody
Sure.
want to discuss
Okay.
or this thing. Huh? Okay.
Will do.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. And for the email ID, I would request the author of the Um,
Yeah,
the live
we can,
session. Sir, do you want us to
No,
tell
you
them
can
right now?
display, no issue in that. You can display my mail ID if you want.
It is randeersingh.dhia@gmail.com. Viewers can write RANDHIRSINGH.DAHIYA@gmail.com. randeersingh.dhia@gmail.com. And to bring it to your notice, he is available on the LinkedIn also. And our author would be showing us on the screen also, so it will be available for you. Thank you so much
Okay.
for such an informative, excellent session. And I thank our viewers and participants for bearing us and finding time for this thing. And we will be coming soon back for the module 2. So stay tuned, and your feedback form is most essential to get you the e-certificate. Thank you so much.